What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here with Geekazine. We're here in Denver, Colorado, and I'm at CommvaultGO. We'll talk about that in a minute, but right now we're talking about the 5 tech things you should know. This week we're going to talk about smartwatches. We're going to do that next on Geekazine. Welcome to the 5 tech things you should know. My name is Jeffrey Powers, Geekazine.com. Think magazine, put in a geek. You got me. Another episode, another contest. Learn how you can get a $50 Amazon gift card simply by watching this video. We'll talk about it a little bit more later in the show. So with that said, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell notification for the next video. And you can do that directly on Geekazine as well.
Oh, it's like Santa, like trying to take a picture.
So this is the metallic board. They're promoting, of course, metallic from Commvault. So basically you pass by and it disrupts the board a little bit.
You can come on. Hey, be metallic.
By the way, don't forget to look at last week's episode on foldable phones if you want to know 5 tech things about that. Of course, any conference is not complete nowadays without a puppy pound. This is Mulligan. How you doing, Mulligan? You're on national camera. How's that? Someday we'll have smart puppies on our wrists, but for now, we just got to deal with this. Hello. Hi.
It's Doc.
This is Doc. Doc likes to lick. And he's an awesome smartwatch right here. He can tell me the time. Hey Doc, what time is it? It's time to go to sleep? Watches. They've been on our wrists, they've been in our pockets, they've been on our walls, which we then put on chains and put around our necks, only to make rap songs. And we've been doing it for ages. Believe it or not, computer wearable watches have been around for a long time, since the 70s actually. From the Pulsar watch by Hamilton Watch Company, to the Reputer from the 90s, to even the Nintendo Game Watch you would have worn on your wrist.
All right, first one to the top gets a $1,000 bonus.
Now, personally, in the 90s, I had myself a GoBot watch. It's more than meets the eye. Yeah, I know, that's from a different franchise. And then came the smartwatch that we know of today. They get better and better every day. In some cases, you can even leave your phone at home and get cues right from your watch. Music, tracking, GPS, everything like that. Just like Dick Tracy did. But just like many of the smartphones, many different models of watches came out. And of course, they have the fakes. I talked about it with Wish.com video, how you can get fakes just as easy. According to Statistica, smartwatches are a $26 billion industry. It's been steadily growing year by year. And of course, it'll also be growing next year and the year after that and the year after that. Most people want that coveted Apple Watch. Me, I'm a big fan of this Fossil Gen 5 Carlisle watch because I like round watches over square ones. I like the design, and it's got a little feng shui to it. One of the announcements that Commvault made, well, right before the show, but still, is the acquisition of this company called Hedvig. Hedvig is a distributed storage company, and it adds to their offering. And of course, with so many different watches out there, you might be wondering which one you want to get for your spouse, for your kids, for your dog, maybe for me. After all, the holidays are coming up and you haven't gotten anything for me yet. So let's look at the 5 things that you should be thinking of when you go to get your first or second or third or 54th smartwatch. Let's do that and let's rule the world. Now, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of the square watch. I like them round and big, 34, 42, 46. My wrists don't like no plastic. The right shape that fits your wrist is what you really want. Like, for instance, this watch right here reminds me of the old Timex Iron Man watch I used to wear so many years ago. And with the Fossil, I can change bands fairly easily. Right now, I'm wearing the leather strap. I can put on the original clasp strap that I came with it, or I can order many more off of Fossil's website, off of Amazon or other sites. And then there's that strapless black number I wear on very special occasions. Another thing to think about is the buttons and dials. This one has 3 different buttons, the center button actually having a dial to it, so I can make my selections a little bit more easily. The Samsung Active 2, on the other hand, has a dial on the face. And of course, the Apple Watch is a single button dial for integration. No, I didn't say butt dial. So something with a good fit with buttons that don't dig into your skin and a big enough screen to read text is what I look for in a good watch. Now, some think that you have to have an Apple Watch. If you have an iPhone, you have to pair it. And that's far from the case here. The Fossil is connected both with an Android device and my iPhone, which is my primary phone. And of course, I don't have an Apple Watch, but I know that it doesn't go the other way. You have to do some tricks to make it happen so you can use it with an Android phone. I mean, it's too bad that Apple doesn't have a Google app to do that, but you know, that's Apple for you. When you get a watch, one thing you want to make sure is who's controlling your data. For example, Apple Watch will be Apple. Google, anything with Wear OS will be Google, and maybe from the company that's supplying the watch. With Samsung, you'll have Samsung and Google, which might be controlling your data. Watch your terms of service on the watch when you get it. A little bit about Commvault. This is enterprise IT and its backup and recovery service. They just announced what's called Metallic, which is a cloud software as a service. So you can now backup and recovery via the cloud to whatever storage you have, whether it be on site or off site. Let's talk a little bit about elements and resistance and stuff like that. You want to have a good watch that's going to stick around, and of course, when your watch is on your wrist, the elements are going to play a very big part into everything. Now, you want to have a watch that's going to be around for a couple of years, that's not going to rust out onto you, that's not going to break on you, because this thing is going to hit a couple door jams, this thing is going to fall on the floor, this thing is going to be in the water in some cases, so water resistance is important. But the most important part is the skin, because a lot of these watches have heart monitors, sensors that are checking your EKG, your heart, whatever, and you want to make sure that that's not going to cause an adverse reaction to your skin. Like, for instance, the old gold chains that would make a green ring around your neck or around your wrist. You just don't want that type of stuff. And of course, how smart do you want it? Do you want to be able to get everything from phone calls to text messages to Twitter pictures to Instagrams to notifications, or do you just want something that just tells the time and maybe how many steps you've done at a conference like this? You can go as simple as a Fitbit, which will track your steps and maybe check your heart rate every now and then. Or, of course, you can get into some of the smartwatches that will GPS track where you go around Denver, Colorado, or wherever you're living, and put that all into data that you can use down the line. It's really what you want to see with your watch. Like I said, we're giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. Here is the deal. Of course, this will be published on the 17th of October. So you have 2 weeks from that. That's actually Halloween. To comment down on youtube.com/Geekazine to this video, just go ahead and comment. You'll have to basically tell me what you want in a smartwatch, and you have to use the word smartwatch, one word. Feel free to make it a hashtag if you want to, but of course you have to have that word in the comment for you to qualify. On the 31st, we will draw for the winner. Now, before we get into the number one thing, let's talk about one more thing, and that's fixability of your watch. Because as I said, it's gonna be exposed to the elements, and every now and then it's gonna break. You're just gonna have to get it fixed. Perfect example. My wife has a Fitbit. It broke. Actually, it broke on the 1 year to the day that I bought it. She was out in the rain. It was a heavy rainstorm, and I guess water got into the Fitbit and it just died. I called up support. They sent me a new Fitbit. And in that case, I actually didn't have to even send them back the old Fitbit because it's just such a small piece of technology that as long as I properly dispose of it, which you should do with your old devices, had the serial number, they knew it was the device. We went through all these troubleshooting steps and came to the realization it wasn't working. So we got that back in. So that's very important, the fixability of these watches. Or if the fixability is not there, the support in getting a new watch like that. Now, some of you like to open up your watches, and there have been some breakdowns of Apple Watches, Fossil, and all those other ones. You can check it out on YouTube. We don't talk about that here. But if you want something that you can fix yourself or that can easily be fixed in a short time frame, that is a good factor to think about in getting a smartwatch. Yeah, it's all about the battery, because at the end of the day, if your smartwatch dies and then you don't have a regular watch with you, what's the point in owning it? That is kind of one issue I have with the Fossil, is it doesn't hold enough battery, or doesn't stop at the smartwatch level to take it back to a regular phone. So I only have a few hours before before the watch actually dies. As watches get smarter, as they get easier to use, like for instance the Apple Watch with now having that instant on face, they worry about battery management as well. So with that, how does that watch then go into a low power mode for your need to actually know what the heck time it is? Now, there are some smartwatches out there with technology in them, but they're actually a regular watch at the end of the day. So you can turn off the smartwatch and still have a regular watch on your wrist. Did I miss anything that you wanted to know about smartwatches? How about foldables the week before? Let me know by commenting on YouTube. Go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell notification so you know when the next video comes up for future episodes of the 5 Tech Things You Should Know About. Thanks a lot for watching the 5 Tech Things You Should Know. Next time, I'm going to actually be looking at Thanksgiving tech. So until then, you guys geek out. And whoa, that's awful, right? All right, that's a lot better. Until next time, you guys geek out. Thanks to the folks over at COmmvault and CommvaultGO, and of course, my friends over at Tech Field Day, which is why I was here for Tech Field Day at CommvaultGO. You can check them out over at Tech Field Day. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Geek out. Well, that's the problem with gimbaled cameras, is it follows you, so you can't walk off the camera. Maybe if I do this.